First of all, congratulations on the victory. We saw you walk in here with an ice pack. Physically, how are you feeling after that fight?
Physically, I'm great. Realistically, a little bummed, messed up, but I'll heal quickly.
Messed up how? Is it the leg kicks that seem to do a lot of damage in there?
Yeah, so the with Taekwondo we do a lot of kicks, and so my hips are a little wider, and so at one point I planted with a right, and my hip, something with my hip happened. So if you saw in the later rounds, I couldn't plant on that lead leg. I mean, she threw some solid leg kicks as well, but there's something with my hip. But I'll be good.
And that happened in the fight, the thing with the hip, or was that?
Yeah, I want to say it was sometime in the second round, because the third, when we were kind of like, we're gonna do old school Elise Reed, I couldn't hit as hard with my right as I wanted to. I couldn't plant on that left side.
So when that happens, do you have to adjust the game plan on the fly just to work around it?
No, I just bit on my mouthpiece through the right hand.
There was a point in there when, I think it was the first round, you pointed, it looked like you pointed at the commentator,
Yeah.
like during the fight. What were you saying?
They mentioned the right hand when I dropped the right hand, and so yes, I was like, I heard you.
DC also said you came over and said something to him after the fight. What were you saying?
So obviously with the fight before this one, you know, the ground game is a huge thing that I can improve on, as well as the wrestling. And so I just said, you know, I'm getting better at wrestling a little bit. So that's it.
You seem to think you were mad at him. So.
No, I'm not mad at any of the commentators. I wouldn't fight any of the commentators. I'm here to put on a show for everybody, and obviously they're commentating for a reason because they know what they're looking at, and so I just want to get on the same page with them. That's it.
And then after when they read the decisions, you yelled, "I'm here," and you're pointing at the camera. Was that directed at anyone specific or just in general the fans?
Just in general. I mean, you know, I am so grateful and fortunate to be able to continue to get better, and that the last loss really, you know, put my tail between my legs and made me reevaluate what I need to do to work hard. And so yeah, I can hit people with my right hand, and maybe I can wrestle a little bit. So that's it.
You've been one of the more active fighters in this division this year. How soon do you want to get back in there? Is this hip thing gonna?
I'm gonna be just fucking fine. I'm gonna be just fine. I'm gonna get in as soon as I can. Like I said, the UFC is a fantastic organization, and you know, you can be a pro and you can have a great amount of fights before UFC, but until you're in the UFC, it's kind of like starting from scratch, right? So I've learned the most at the UFC and in the UFC, and the only way to get better is to continue to get fights and continue to grow. So whenever they want to bring me in again, I'm happy to go.
Elise?
Yeah, hey.
Was that the last fight on your contract?
It was.
I guess, did that lead to any nerves coming into the fight?
Yeah, you know, I think it's going into the Corey's fight was very similar. You know, I came in at 125, which, by the way, will never happen again. I'm not a 125, or I've never have been. I don't care how long I'm going to be fighting for. So going into Corey after Cesaro was really similar, where I had to kind of show that I was supposed to be a 115er, and this one was something like that. So hopefully you get to see me again. I put on a show. Hopefully you get to see me again.
When you cracked her, were you surprised that she got back up?
I'm a 115. Cracking somebody and dropping them is pretty good. You know, if I'm going to pat myself on the back. I would have loved to sit on that and have her not wake up, but it's just something I can get better at and improve on. So you'll see it again.
So there's a lot of people very hyped about her because she's this kickboxer, and you kind of outstruck her. How does that feel?
I'm going to take my wins and my losses even keel, but if you don't think I'm a good striker, you don't quite know me as well. So I think everybody was really excited with this matchup because we're both strikers. Having her have a bunch of kudos and amp to all that was better for me. So yeah, anybody wants to say that they can kickbox or whatever else, I'm happy to brawl as well. Yeah, I mean, I can hit back.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much, Alex.
Hey, Elise, right here.
Oh, hey.
Yeah, I did want to ask about that because it felt like, you know, fresh prospect coming in and Melissa. And did you feel like that pressure? Did you feel like, hey, are they setting me up a little bit here in my last one on my contract?
Being blue gloves was a little bit of it, if I'm going to be for real. But I don't blame him, right? It's a business. UFC is a business, and you got a hot prospect that you think is going to come in here and put on a good show against another striker. I'm just not going to go out that easy. So I was happy to show up and do what I need to do.
She hadn't fought in a minute compared to yourself. When you went back and watched the tape, did you feel like that ring rust might have affected it? Did she perform like you thought she would?
There is. I am never going to look at any tape ever again and say that that's going to be the fighter that you're going to get in the octagon, because it's not. It's just not. So we learned that with Sam Hughes, and this one, 2 years or 3 years out, she could have been working every day for 12 hours a day, right? So the only time that matters is in the octagon, and that's what we plan for. We plan for the best Melissa.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Hi, Elise.
Hey.
I just want to know a little bit about what it felt like with all the drama that was going on this week with the main event. I know that didn't directly affect you, but I'm wondering if there was any point where you thought maybe the card wouldn't happen at all.
No, I feel like I got to take some notes, if I'm being honest, to start some drama myself. No, I mean, I think it's really cool to be a part of such a card that has so much hype behind it. I mean, to be with Nate Diaz and Tony Ferguson, I mean, I'm blessed to be a part of that card. Would I have jumped in and bit some ankles if I was part of the fight? Probably. I don't know. But yeah, I'm just taking notes, really. No.
What about the fact that Chimaev wasn't fined for missing weight? Do you have any opinion about that?
So I tweeted it, and again, I'm not going to call out Chimaev because he's going to come and murder me, maybe. And he smashes everybody, right? But the only thing professional about fighting is making weight. So again, the UFC is a business, and what makes better business is that type of drama. So I can't fault him for what the UFC is doing, but I think he didn't make a lot of fans. I don't think he made any fans coming into this fight, and I think the OGs are those people that did the last minute change. I mean, everybody, those 6 fighters that just in less than 24 hours is going to fight again, somebody brand new. I mean, that's what we fucking do, right? We put on a show. So kudos to the fighters, and yeah, I mean, the only thing professional is making weight. Everything else, you can curse, you can beat the shit out of somebody, right? So you had one job, really. So we'll see. Not calling you out, though. Promise.
Thank you.
Thank you.